College sports aren't just about winning on the scoreboard anymore. They're about capital, contracts, and control. This week, three headlines are quietly connecting to form a new playbook for the future of college athletics and the business athletes playing them. A $2.4 billion investment deal for the Big Ten, a major NIL collective shutting down, and power agent Rich Paul pushing for long term NIL contracts. Jedediah Collins here with the Money Vehicle Movement podcast, where we're trying to make financial literacy more current and possibly even a little cooler. Today, let's break down how those stories don't just live in separate lanes, but are actually part of the same economic transformation happening today. Let's start with the Big Ten, one of the most powerful conferences in college sports, truly only rivaled anymore by the SEC. They're preparing to vote on accepting a $2.4 billion private investment deal, and if the conference says yes, this would mark one of the biggest shifts in how college sports are funded. What does this mean exactly? Well, the conference would essentially sell a stake in its future media and commercial revenues to outside investors. In return, the conference would get cash to fuel expansion, media deals, and possibly, yes, revenue sharing with business athletes down the road. Why this matters? Well, it begins to blur the line in between college athletics and professional sports. Once you bring in private capital, everything tightens up. More accountability, more pressure to grow revenue, and less room for messy, unstructured systems, looking at the education system at large. Then, at almost the same time, not coincidence, we saw Student Athlete NIL, one of the largest third party NIL collectives, announce it's shutting down. For the past few years, NIL collectives have been the wild west of athlete compensation. Boosters pooling money to pay players, operating outside the official structures of university, often with little regulation or sustainability. As somebody who helped start a collective and has advised on a lot of them, this was really the wild, wild west, and it was chaotic and crazy. Many were not playing by the one or two rules that we all lived by. But as all of this is seen, their shutdown today is another signal. The shift from revenue sharing to NIL is just the tip of the iceberg. Private investors, conferences, and even schools are realizing that the NIL ecosystem cannot stay fragmented forever. If the Big Ten takes in billions of dollars in investment, they won't want boosters collecting, writing, or having anything to do with random checks to part of their product, these business athletes. The conference will want centralized, transparent, and scalable structures because that is what private money and investors demand. It's crazy what these people who give you your money want from you. Lastly, let's enter the third headline around agent Rich Paul, who is proven to be one of the more powerful sports agents on the planet, beginning to push and make headlines for multi-year NIL contracts instead of this one-year play and done model. Why? Well, because if schools and conferences are going to get more professional, their revenue models and athlete contracts should look more professional too. And this is where it's starting to look more and more like a professional contract. Multi-year NIL contracts will give athletes, the business athlete of today, more stability. I'll be here for 3, 4, maybe even 5 years. Stronger brand relationships. Hey, now I'm at this university. If a company knows I'm going to be here for 2 or 3 years, that is a better sell. In a better position in a more structured market. None of this chaotic NIL third party collective craziness. For the conferences, it gives predictability, exactly what investors and media partners are going to want. If you saw the video on NBA media rights, $77 billion, this is where the real money starts to come in. So, business athletes, why we call them that, in the future, if not today, they are going to be structured and positioned much like professional athletes. So here's the thread that connects these three thoughts. The Big Ten takes private investments, bringing Wall Street discipline and expectations to their college sports. The unstable NIL collectives begin to crumble because loose, unregulated systems can't survive in a capital backed environment, and agents begin to push structured NIL deals aligning athlete compensation with this new investor driven professional model. These are not three separate headlines. It's the blueprint for what the business of sports looks like and the business athletes that will be at the center of them all. Like it, hate it, your opinion doesn't really matter. It is what's happening. The game has changed, and the biggest winners won't just be those ones celebrating on the field. They'll be the ones who understand how money is moving off the field. Jedediah Collins, Money Vehicle Movement Podcast. We will see you at the next stop.